Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I want to make another video. I want to make this video about, it's going to be called Are Expats Making It Dangerous for Other Expats in Medellin, Colombia? So based on my experience from what I've seen in the last few years, obviously I'm just talking about a small percentage of expats that do dumb shit. So we're going to be talking about, because I know a lot of guys over there that have businesses, they live there, they have relationships, they're married, they have their girlfriends, and so many of them are not even going out or doing, like, you know, bad things. But I think there is like a conception now of, like, you know, some of the things that are going on over there, and I think it has to be addressed. I feel like, you know, some of the guys that are going over there, some of the expats are definitely, and I'm not talking about the weekend warriors, because obviously there's guys that go there for like a few days and then back like a fool, but there's definitely a percentage of guys that are going over there, that are living over there and are out of control. And so what happens is that when you got guys that are overspending money on all these girls and, you know, on their lifestyle, and there's nothing wrong for play, like, to each their own. Whoever wants to do that, I don't care, you know. I'm not judging those type of people, but what happens is that you have these guys that not only are just like over exaggerating the money that they're spending, and, you know, it's their money, they could do whatever they want, right? But other expats, we become a target because now the criminals are looking at us. Oh, you know, these guys have a lot of money. You know, this guy's spending $200 or $300 a night on bottles. He's spending, you know, $200 or $300 nights on bottles on girls, and, you know, etc. And so we become a target, as, you know, in the sense of, like, you know, there's blood in the water, and now the great white sharks can smell the blood from miles away. And so it's the same thing with us expats. Like, we're there, and you have these guys, small percentage, that maybe just 1% of the guys that are living there that are doing this, overexpending their money. And so what you have is, like, we become targets. Especially the older men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are doing this. And I've always said this, that Tinder is the worst. If you're an older man, you shouldn't even be touching Tinder. If you're gonna do pay for play, just go to Paquieres and have your fun. Because, you know, I was talking to a local Colombian the other day, and he was telling me, well, the girls that are doing these drug-ins are not prepagas. That's what they call the prostitutes over there, right? Prepagas. Because these girls make a living off of doing this shit, you know. They have their clients, they have their reputation, so they have to make their money. They have their families to take care of, in some cases kids. And so it's not these girls that are doing it, it's the girls that are usually on Tinder. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen in the streets, because I had a friend that got drugged, and he was at a club, you know. So yes, you can meet a local and something bad can happen, but usually the bad things that are happening is always the same story. Tinder, a 50, 60-year-old man. And I'm not saying a man that age shouldn't have his fun, you know, but we have to be real honest with ourselves. Like, you know, if you're gonna be on Tinder, you already know that there's a repercussion because of that. There's, like, you know, there's a reputation on Tinder of, like, you know, all the druggings are connected to it. It's always the same story. I met her on Tinder. So my thing is to you guys is that if you're going to be going to Medellin, especially as an older gentleman, even as a younger cat, just stay away from Tinder. Medellin people or Medellin women are very approachable, especially a younger person. In other parts of Colombia, maybe not so much, like Cali or somewhere, like, you know, they're more reserved. But, you know, Vices, I feel like they have the reputation of very, very approachable. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean also that you don't have to be on your guard. But I kind of feel like, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, the criminal aspect of Medellin, it's always linked to one thing: Tinder, an older man, I love to drink. And first of all, there isn't a hookup culture in Colombia, so let that be known. That don't think that you're this James Bond guy if you have 2 or 3 girls that want to come to see you, and you're like, no, it's very rare for a Colombian girl, especially, you know, a younger girl, to just go to an older man's apartment just to go drink. That's a red flag. And if the friend wants to, I've always said this, even if you're, like, you know, common sense, you know, tells you, like, if a friend wants to come, I always say no. No, that's how the druggings always happen. Like, oh, it's my friend. Oh, 2 friends. Like, don't do that. You have to put your safety before everything else. And some guys, they see these beautiful faces and they act like they've never seen a beautiful woman in their life. And that's what's going on over there in Medellin. Men need to be starting to take accountability for their actions. And if you go out with a girl, you know, just be safe. You know, you could do basic things too. You could move how the local men. You know, the men usually don't spend more than 150,000 pesos on a date, which is equivalent to $25, $30. And so you don't have to spend an extravagant amount of money on these women. And so, you know, not only are you being safe, by, you know, keeping your budget low, but you're also, you know, saving more money in your pocket, and you're also cutting out girls that are going to be potentially just interested. Obviously, if you're an older man dating a younger guy, a younger girl, yes, she's probably going to be interested, you know. But with that being said, just be safe. If you're gonna go out with a girl, make sure she doesn't bring a friend the first time, second, or even third time. Like, you know, I think, man, we need to start moving a little bit more careful when it comes to over there. Like, no to the friends. Oh, my friend wants to come. No to the or let's go to this club or anything like that. You know, like, you know, you should be around, like, you know, other expats. If you get to go to Medellin, you know, there's Facebook groups, and, like, you know, there's bars that you could go to and meet other expats. That way they can have your back as well, and they could give you advice how to move over there. But definitely there's a lot of druggings that are going on in Medellin, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse. And imagine all the druggings that we're not hearing about, because there's guys that are, let's be honest, you know, they have reputations. They might be, you know, they might have a career, or they might have be, you know, they have a lot to lose, so they're not gonna go on the social media and say, oh, I got drugged. You know, they're gonna say, shit, I'm gonna go ahead and take the L and just say I got robbed a different way or something like that, you know. But, you know, there's a danger that's going on in Medellin. And even last year, there was 2 guys that were showing off their money on WhatsApp. These 2 young guys, and they did a home invasion on them. And so, you know, they're showing off their money. Unfortunately, somebody went over there and you know, they robbed them. They tied them up and they took all their stuff, and they walked away with their lives. But, you know, you have to realize that you're in a country where there's a lot of poverty, and in Medellin there's definitely a reputation for us gringos of, you know, extreme amounts of money when we go out with these young girls and stuff like that, or whatever, however old they are. But there is a reputation. Like, even if you go out with a girl that's like never gone out with a gringo, their reputation would be, oh, this guy has money because he's from America or from Europe or for something like that. So I would say that move intelligently. Do these 3 steps would be: no to the friend, no if she wants to pick the site, do your research. It's not that hard. You can find a good place and provide to go and drink. And I would say always watch your drink. And there's also not a hookup culture there. And so also, if the friend wants to, like, you know, oh, can we go to your apartment to drink, that's a huge red flag, because girls in Medellin don't do that shit. So I think, you know, if you follow those steps, you could be safe. And I'm not saying, you know, stuff can't happen, but I'm just seeing it more and more and more. I'm seeing, you know, I just feel like, you know, a lot of YouTubers are talking about it, but I just kind of feel like, you know, it's something that has to be addressed, you know. There's not a hookup culture there. So if a girl wants to go to your apartment the first day, you know, to me, that's the red flag. You know, you could do basic things with the girls. And I talked about this in my other videos, you know. You could be like, oh, you know what, let's go to the movies, let's go to a bar. Like, you could do things to avoid, you know, because the people that are doing these bad things, the criminality of it, it's always like, where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to his apartment, or we're gonna go to but, you know, you don't hear druggings happening, like I said, like at a coffee shop. I haven't heard about it. But or going to the gym. Let's go to the gym. But I guess as an older man, it's different, you know, because it's happening to the men that are older. But as an older man, if you're watching this, you know, you just gotta be more careful how you move over there, because definitely, you know, you can't depend on law enforcement to protect you. You can't depend on those things. So if you move really careful, and you think with your head up here, and you're smart enough, and you make friends, or you ask questions, I think you'll be okay. But I just think this thing of, like, Medellin being really safe, I think it's becoming more dangerous, because some men are just definitely moving with the wallet. And so when you're throwing blood in the water, the great white sharks are going to smell it. The sharks are going to smell it, and so we'll become a target. I think, you know, this video, hopefully, if it can help even just one person out, you know, it's worth it, you know. So I'm hoping I could give life-saving advice, you know. I don't want to be talking about negative things about Medellin. I'm not that kind of YouTuber that just wants to get clout. So that's not what I'm about. But, you know, I'm giving the best advice that I can, and there's other YouTubers that are talking about the same thing. So you follow these easy directions, you know. Don't lean with the wallet. Don't have the friend come along. No, there isn't a hookup culture. No, she's not really that interested in you. That's why she wants to come to your apartment. You'll be all right. But if you do the play for play, man, definitely you gotta watch your back, man. So hopefully, you know, like I said, this video helps somebody out. If it's your first time, like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, and I'll be making more videos about, you know, Colombia as I go along, and I'll try to do some interviews with some locals so you can get a better understanding how things work over here. Till next time, guys, take care.